She won't tell you. She'll never say it out loud, not with words, not with direct gestures, not in any way that's clear enough for most men to pick up on. She'll play it cool. She'll act uninterested. She'll keep it friendly. Sometimes she'll even pretend to be annoyed by you, short, distant, dismissive. But beneath that act, there's a storm of emotion she can't silence. Because when a woman desires you, really desires you, she doesn't always show it directly. In fact, the stronger the desire, the more she hides it. Why? Because female desire doesn't want to be exposed. It wants to be felt, understood, read without being revealed. She's testing whether you're the kind of man who needs to be told or the kind of man who can sense everything without her saying a word. She desires presence. A man who sees what she's trying not to show, who notices the shake in her voice when she's near you, who feels the shift in her energy when the room grows quiet, who catches her eyes when they linger too long, then dart away as if caught. Most men miss these signals. They're too busy looking for green lights, too loud, too reactive, too obvious. And by the time they realize what was happening, the moment is already gone. But not you. Because a stoic man doesn't need signs, shouted. He reads behavior like a language. He picks up what she's dropping in silence. And once you start noticing her contradictions, the smiles that hold back something deeper, the distance that hides closeness, the teasing that masks tension, you'll start to see the truth. She doesn't need to say she wants you. She already has. Through her body, through her behavior, through the moment, she hoped you'd ignore but couldn't. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 deeply revealing signs that a woman is secretly desiring you, even though she'll never admit it. Not to you, not to anyone, maybe not even to herself. But her actions, her presence, her energy, they already gave her away. Let's begin. Welcome to Stoic Paradox, where we decode the invisible, interpret the unspoken, and understand women not through what they say, but what they try to suppress. This isn't surface-level psychology. This is the deep, calm understanding of female behavior through the eyes of a man who no longer needs permission to see truth. Now, here's a secret about women that most men will never realize. The stronger her desire for you, the more she'll try to bury it. Not because she doesn't want you, but because wanting you scares her. Because true desire exposes her. It leaves her vulnerable. And in today's world where attention is currency and status is performance, the woman who truly desires a man guards that desire like a secret. She doesn't want to look too eager. She doesn't want to risk rejection. And she definitely doesn't want to give her power away. So what does she do? She hides it. She covers it in jokes, masks it with sarcasm, drowns it in just friends' energy. She keeps her words neutral, but her presence unstable. That's when you, as a stoic man, must see what she won't say. You must notice the tremble in her voice when she speaks your name, the way she holds her breath when your eyes meet, the micro glances, the pauses, the accidental touches that linger longer than they should, the overcorrection where she pulls away too quickly, not because she's not interested, but because she feels too much. See, modern men are taught to chase verbal cues, to wait for clear signs, but a woman who truly wants you won't hand you a roadmap. She'll leave you breadcrumbs in her behavior. She'll let her desire slip out in strange contradictions. She ignores you but can't stop looking. She acts annoyed but keeps starting conversations. She talks about other guys but watches how you react. She gives attention, then retreats. And somewhere in all that chaos is a simple, quiet truth. You've gotten under her skin. Not by bragging, not by chasing, but by being still, present, unmoved. That's what makes her curious. That's what makes her project fantasies. That's what activates her deepest emotional instincts, the ones even she can't explain. And the men who understand this, they don't need confirmation. They already know. In this video, I'll walk you through the 10 clearest psychological signs that a woman desires you deeply, even though she'll never say it. Not because she's manipulative, not because she's playing games, but because desire, real, grounded, physical, and emotional female desire rarely walks up to you and says, "I want you." It moves in the background. It reveals itself through rhythm, reaction, and tension. And once you understand how to see it, you'll never unsee it again. Let's begin. 1. She maintains eye contact just long enough to show you, then breaks it to protect herself. Her eyes are the gateway, but only for a second. You'll catch her looking locked in, focused, almost like she's reading you. And right, when it starts to feel meaningful, she looks away. Why? Because in that glance, she showed too much. Not just interest, vulnerability, the way her pupils dilate slightly, the way her breath subtly shifts, the flicker of something deeper before she forces it back behind a mask of normally. It's not random. It's not polite. It's primal recognition. Her body sees you. Her mind tries to undo it. And that's the paradox. She wants you to notice, but not call it out. She desires you, but not the exposure that comes with it. 2. She overcorrects her emotions around you. One moment she's warm, playful, laughing at everything you say. Then suddenly she gets cold, distant, professional. That switch is not confusion. It's self-P protection. She feels herself getting pulled in, and it scares her because desire isn't rational. It strips away control. She flirts without meaning to, then punishes herself by pulling away. She opens up, then disappears for a while. It's not you. It's the emotional conflict she's managing internally. Men who don't understand this take it personally. Men who do, they see the dance for what it is. A silent battle between attraction and fear. 3. She tries to appear disinterested, but her body won't cooperate. She crosses her arms, but her feet point toward you. She avoids eye contact, but angles her body in your direction. She says, "I'm not into guys like you," but plays with her necklace, touches her lips, adjusts her hair. Her words are armor. Her body is the leak in the defense. When a woman desires you, her subconscious nervous system betrays her. She'll groom, she'll prey in, she'll expose vulnerable areas like the neck or wrists, all ancient cues of openness. And the more she tries to hide it, the more obvious it becomes to the man who knows how to observe, not judge. 4. She brings up other men, but watches how you react. She'll mention someone who texted her, a guy who asked her out, an ex she bumped into casually like it's nothing. But it's not about the other man, it's about you. She's watching, testing, measuring your reaction. Do you get jealous? Do you stay grounded? Do you lean in or disappear emotionally? She wants to know. Do you feel anything for her? Would you fight for her? Would you even care? She desires you, but she's terrified she's alone in it. So she uses other men as emotional sonar, throwing something out to see what bounces back. 5. She remembers the smallest details about you, things you forgot. You said you mentioned your favorite movie once. She brings it up weeks later. You told her about a bad day. She checks in about it later. You casually said you love a certain drink she remembers to offer. This is not friendliness. This is emotional imprinting. When a woman desires you, her memory sharpens around you. Not because she's trying, but because you've activated her focus. Attraction makes her mind track you like a magnet. She listens harder, remembers longer, processes deeper because in her mind, you've become a source of emotional stimulation. And the feminine is drawn to emotional presence like a flame. 6, she looks for excuses to interact, but frames it as coincidence. She asks for your help with something small. She happens to be at the same place. She texts for a random reason that doesn't really matter. She's not stalking. She's strategically opening the door just wide enough to let you walk through. This is what we call invitation energy. She won't chase you, but she will create opportunities. Moments where you can step into the space she's holding, but only if you see it. Only if you're attuned. Because if you're too passive, she'll take your inaction as disinterest and she'll shut that door without saying a word. 7, she tries to dull her beauty around you so you don't see how much she cares. This one is rare and subtle. When a woman truly desires a man but doesn't want to feel vulnerable, she sometimes pulls back her beauty. Less makeup, less skin, less effort. Why? Because she doesn't want you to know how much she wants you to see her. She fears being too seen, too exposed, too obvious. She'll tone herself down to protect the secret she thinks you haven't noticed. But the irony is a stoic man doesn't need beauty to sense desire. He feels it in the way she walks in and immediately scans the room for him. The way she pretends to be busy, but is always facing his direction. 8. She slows down. Time around. You ever notice how the moment you're alone with her, the energy changes? She stops checking her phone. Her voice softens. She lingers a little longer in the hallway. She adds one more sentence before leaving. She lets silence hang in the air and doesn't try to fill it. This is emotional suspension. She's stretching time, not consciously, but because she doesn't want the moment to end. Desire doesn't always push forward. Sometimes it simply refuses to let go. And in those pauses, those hangs, those unsaid goodbyes, that's where her longing lives. 9. She teases you in a way that only makes sense if she cares what you think. Playful mocking, poking fun, calling you by nicknames. It all seems lighthearted, but pay attention. There's a tone, a timing, a look in her eyes that's not just joking. It's seeking. Teasing is her way of getting a reaction without asking for one. It's tension disguised as humor. She wants to see if you'll match her play, if you'll pass her test, if you'll give her something only a man with real masculine calmness can offer, grounded flirtation without neediness, if you can do that. She leans in more every time. 10. She hesitates at the end like she's waiting for something you haven't said. Yet the conversation's done. You said goodbye. You're walking away, but she lingers, holds eye contact just a bit longer, laughs one last time, touches your arm, mentions something random just to keep the moment alive. This is the final leak of female desire. It's the part of her that doesn't want to leave, not because she's clingy, but because being near you satisfies something she can't explain. And when she hesitates at the end, what she's really doing is giving you one last chance to say what she won't. But you don't have to, because the stoic man doesn't beg for clarity. He walks away knowing the truth. She wanted him, she just couldn't say it. You've now seen what most men will never recognize. The truth behind her silence, the meaning behind her contradictions, the desire that she tries to suppress, hide, or rationalize away. But that always leaks out when she's around a man who holds his frame. Because here's what you need to understand. Female desire is not about logic. It's about feeling. It's about the way you change the temperature in the room when you walk in. The way she suddenly becomes more aware of her body, her words, her image when your eyes meet hers. And she'll never admit it. Not because she's cold, not because she's playing games, but because her deepest craving is to be seen without having to expose herself. She wants you to notice. She just doesn't want to say it. And this is where your power lies. Not in trying harder, but in seeing deeper. Not in pushing for a response, but in watching the subtle dance between tension and truth. A high-value man doesn't need a woman to chase him. He doesn't need her to say the words. He already knows because he reads her energy, not just her words. He watches what changes in her presence and feels when her emotions shift, even when she doesn't speak. So, if this video helped open your eyes to how women actually show desire, not with declarations, but with contradictions, then it's time you take the next step in mastering your masculine awareness. Subscribe to Stoic Paradox, where we don't teach you how to manipulate. We teach you how to observe, to lead, to understand the emotional world of women with depth, not desperation. Hit the like button if you've ever felt her pull away only to come closer. If you've seen her flirt, then pretend she didn't. If you've caught her watching you, then quickly turning away, and now you finally know what it really meant. Comment below. What's the subtlest sign a woman ever gave you that told you everything she couldn't say? Your story might give another man clarity he never had. And remember this: the most attractive man in the room is the one who never needs to ask because he already saw it, felt it, read it, and walked away calmly, knowing she'll carry that moment with her far longer than she'll ever admit. This is Stoic Paradox, where we train you to read women not with neediness, but with silence, stillness, and stoic mastery. Until next time, stay grounded, stay sharp, stay dangerous.